It's 3 in the morning. You're lying in bed, eyes wide open in the dark. The house is quiet. It should feel peaceful, but your mind is a storm. The bill that's due tomorrow, that hard conversation you need to have, the comment someone made that keeps echoing in your head, the endless list of things you didn't finish today that you'll have to squeeze in tomorrow, and that heavy feeling in your chest that whispers, you're not enough. You're failing. Everyone expects so much from you and you're falling apart. Sound familiar? Because I'm willing to bet you've been there. Maybe you're there right now, not at 3 in the morning, but in broad daylight, smiling, functioning, doing everything you're supposed to, but inside you're hanging by a thread. And here's the question no one asks out loud, but it's screaming inside your soul. Where is God in all of this? Does he see me? Does he care? Or is he too busy with the big stuff, wars, disasters? Really holy people, while my ordinary, messy, exhausted life isn't even on his radar? Let me tell you something that might sound impossible, but it's the truest thing you'll ever hear. The same God who holds billions of stars in place, who keeps your heart beating without you even asking, who governs every atom in the universe. God knows exactly how your exhaustion tastes right now. He's not watching from a distance. He's here, so close that he's counting every hair on your head, so tender that he keeps every tear you've ever cried, even the ones that fell in the shower or in the car when no one was looking. Sounds too good to be true? I get it, because we've been taught that God cares mostly about the spiritual stuff, beautiful prayers, long Bible readings, perfect devotional moments. But what about the dirty dishes? The stressful meeting? The kids fighting again? That moment you lost your patience and instantly felt horrible? He's there too, in all of it, in the sacred and the ordinary, in victory and in failure, in worship and in chaos. And today, in this moment together, you're going to discover something that could change the way you see your entire life. Nothing in your world is outside God's reach. Not a single tear, not a single delay, not even those 3 A.M. worries or the small miracles that passed unnoticed because you were too busy running to the next thing. And before we go on, if something inside you is already whispering, I need this, share this message with a friend who might need to hear she's not alone, and subscribe. Because every week we're diving into what it means to live real. Faith in the middle of real life, not theory, not fantasy, but life as it is. Here's what I won't give you: magic formulas. I won't tell you that if you just pray the right way or have enough faith, all your problems will vanish. That's not true, and you deserve truth. The truth is, life is hard. Motherhood is exhausting. Balancing work, home, relationship sand, still trying to nurture your spiritual. Life feels nearly impossible. And if one more person tells you that you just need better time management, you might actually lose it. Because this isn't about managing better. It's about trusting deeper. It's about realizing that in the middle of chaos, right? When you feel like you're losing control, there's a God who never, ever has. And he's not waiting for you to fix everything before he comes close. He's already close. Mess and all. Have you ever had one of those days? The kind that seems doomed from the moment your alarm doesn't go off? You wake up late, already panicking. The kids are impossible. One refuses to wear what you laid out. Another can't find their shoe. The youngest spills milk on the carpet. You jump in the shower but don't have time to wash your hair. You throw it in a messy bun, grab the first outfit you find, then notice the stain only once you're in the car. Traffic is worse than usual. You forgot to pack lunches, and that important meeting starts in 15 minutes. You're still 20 away, and then sitting in traffic, hands gripping the wheel, the thought hits like a wave. I can't do this. Everyone else has it together, and I'm falling apart. Later, you scroll through Instagram for a 2-minute escape, the only break you've had all day, and see spotless houses, smiling kids, glowing couples, thriving careers, perfect faith moments. and you think, what's wrong with me? Why can't I make it work? Let me let you in on a secret no one talks about. Those women are tired too. Those perfect photos? 15 takes in a pile of chaos just outside the frame. Those powerful testimonies? Born out of nights crying in the shower. No one has it all together. No one. The difference isn't in perfection. It's in knowing where to run. When everything falls apart, and when you feel like you're losing control, it doesn't mean your life is falling apart. It might mean you're finally realizing something vital. You were never in control to begin with. But do you know who is? The one who saw the alarm not go off and didn't panic? The one who saw the spilled milk, the traffic jam, the stain, and stayed calm because he already knew how your day would end. That's God. Here's the beautiful paradox we so often forget. The more it feels like nothing's under control, the more God is at work. Not in the way you expected, not on your schedule, but in a way that will one day make you stop and say, oh, now I see. Now I understand what he was doing. Have you ever looked at the backside of an embroidery? It's a mess. Threads everywhere, knots, tangled colors that make no sense. If you only saw that side, you'd think this is a disaster. But flip it over, and there's a masterpiece. A perfect rose. A whole garden. Words stitched with precision. Every random thread on the back was necessary to create beauty on the front. Right now, your life feels like the tangled side. You see the knots, the confusion, the colors that don't match. They're asking, why is this happening? Why didn't that work out? Why did God allow this? But God sees the other side, the complete picture. Every thread, every heartbreak, every delay, every try is part of something stunning, eternal, purposeful, and not one single thread is out of place. That traffic delay that drove you crazy, it may have saved you from an accident you'll never know about. That closed door that broke your heart, it may have protected you from a path that looked good but would have destroyed you. That season of financial struggle that nearly broke you, it may have taught you to depend on God in a way abundance never could. Scripture says, He works all things according to the counsel of His will. Ephesians all things, not just the big miracles. All of them, even the ones that look like chaos, because God is sovereign over everything, even what feels completely out of control. He's weaving, stitching, creating something that one day will leave you speechless. And it's in those moments that the enemy loves to whisper. He doesn't shout. He whispers lies that sound almost true. You're alone. God forgot you. You're not important enough for Him to care. Look at you, calling yourself a Christian. What a fraud. Those lies stick because they attach themselves to your feelings. And feelings? They're real, but not always true. You can feel alone and still not be alone. You can feel forgotten and still be deeply remembered. You can feel worthless and still be precious beyond measure. The key isn't denying your feelings, it's refusing to let them have the final word about who you are or who God is. When that accusing voice comes, and it will, you have to ask, where is this voice coming from? Because God never speaks in hopeless condemnation. He convicts, yes, but His conviction always comes with a way back, always points to the cross, always offers grace. Accusation paralyzes. Conviction draws you closer. Accusation says you failed. Give up. Conviction says you failed, but there's forgiveness. Come, let's make it right. When you learn to recognize the difference, you stop listening to the enemy and start hearing your Father. And His voice, it's full of the words your weary heart needs most. You are mine. I don't regret creating you. Your worst day doesn't change how I feel about you. I see your effort. I count your tears. Nothing you do in love is ever wasted. And if there's one thing He wants you to know above all, you don't have to be perfect to be loved. We all know that in theory. We sing about grace. We talk about grace. But deep down, many of us are still trying to earn it. If I pray more, God will be pleased. If I control my temper, He'll love me more. If I'm a better mom, wife, Christian, then I'll deserve His blessings. But that's not the gospel. That's slavery disguised as religion. The gospel says the opposite. You can't earn. God's love because you already have it completely, unconditionally. You don't have to improve to be accepted. You're already accepted, and that changes everything because now you're not running on a treadmill, trying to be good enough. You're resting in what Christ already did. And from that rest, you begin to change, not to earn love, but because you are loved. And God isn't surprised by your failures. He knew exactly who you were when He chose you. Every mistake, every moment of weakness, and He still said yes. Not because you're flawless, but because His grace is. The Bible is full of messy people God used mightily. Moses had a temper. David committed adultery. Peter denied Jesus. Paul persecuted the church. Yet, God used them not because they were perfect, but because they were available. Their weaknesses became the stage where God's grace shone brightest. Paul said, "I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." 2 Corinthians 12-9. He didn't hide his flaws, he gloried in them, because it's right there, in weakness, that God's strength becomes most visible. So when you feel weak, stretched thin, at the end of yourself, you're not disqualified. You're exactly where God does His best work. Let me take you somewhere we rarely look, creation. Take a deep breath. Look outside. Even if the sky is gray, it's there. And this morning, without you asking, the sun rose again. It always does. Every single day, without fail, without your effort. It simply rises. And the ocean waves? They crash with power, but always stop exactly where God said they should. The God who tells the sea, "This far, no farther." Job 38-11 is the same God holding your life. If He can command the ocean, do you really think anything in your life is beyond His control? And the flowers, look at them. They don't stress or compare. They just grow, because that's what they were made to do. And God takes care of them. Jesus said, "Look at the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin." Yet even Solomon in all his splendor was not dressed like one of these. If God so clothes the grass of the field, will He not much more clothe you? Matthew 6:28-30. How much more you? If He cares for flowers that wither tomorrow, if He feeds the birds, if He holds the stars, how could He not care for you? You made in His image. You redeemed by His Son. You are His beloved daughter. But here's the problem. We forget. In the noise, the pace, the pressure, we forget to notice. Forget to see that God is speaking all around us. In the sunrise, the bird song, the breeze through the window, your child's unexpected laughter, the song that comes on the radio at just the right moment. He's constantly saying, "I'm here. I see you. I haven't forgotten you." But we're so busy, so distracted, that we miss it. So here's my challenge. Pause just for a moment. In the middle of the noise, stop, breathe, look around. Ask, "Lord, where are you right now? What are you saying to me?" Then listen. You might be amazed, because God isn't confined to your morning devotion. He's not waiting for perfect quiet time. He's in the middle of your life, the ordinary, the messy, the unnoticed moments, waiting for you to notice Him. And when you do really notice, everything changes. That moment with your child isn't just another chore. It's a gift. That morning coffee isn't just caffeine. It's grace. Faith stops being an item on your to-do list and becomes a way of seeing. And here's something that can transform how you view your days. There is no small work in the kingdom of God. Nothing done in faith is wasted. That dish you washed again, the diaper you changed, that patient email reply, that kind word to a rude cashier, that bedtime story you read for the 100th time when you just wanted sleep. If it was done for God's glory, it was worship. Scripture says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for men. Colossians 3:23. That changes everything. When you fold laundry, you're serving the image of God. When you cook dinner, you're nourishing those He loves. Every ordinary act becomes holy when it's done for Him. The world measures greatness by what's seen. God measures it by faithfulness. Jesus spent 30 years in obscurity, 30 years as a carpenter in Nazareth. Do you think those years were wasted? That he was waiting for his real life to start? No. Every hidden act of obedience was sacred. He's showing us holiness isn't found only in the big, visible things. It's in every small act of faithfulness. The coffee you made today, the laundry you folded, the kiss goodnight. Each one worship. But I need to be honest with you, even when you live this way, there will still be days you're exhausted. You'll trust God and still battle anxiety. You'll believe He's in control and still try to grab the wheel. 'Cause you're human, and being human is hard. Some days faith feels heavier than doubt. Some days you'll pray, Lord, I trust you, but this hurts. And that's okay. God isn't shocked by your honesty. He doesn't turn away when you admit you're tired. In fact, He draws closer. Remember Elijah, the prophet who called down fire from heaven, who faced hundreds of false prophets and won. Right after that victory, he fell into despair. He ran into the desert, sat under a tree, and begged to die. And what did God do? He didn't scold him. He sent an angel with food twice and let Elijah sleep. Food and rest. Food and rest. Sometimes what you need most isn't another verse. It's a nap, a warm meal, a friend's hand that says it's okay not to be okay. God cares for your spirit, but also for your body. He made both, and He knows that when your body is exhausted, your soul feels it too. So if you're tired today, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, know this: God isn't disappointed in you. He's near, closer than ever, because it's often in the breaking that we finally stop performing and start depending. And dependence isn't weakness, it's where He always wanted you. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest thieves of peace: anxiety about the future. You know the feeling, that knot in your stomach when you think about next month? The tightness in your chest when you imagine what could go wrong? What if I can't pay that bill? What if my child makes the wrong choices? What if I get sick? Anxiety is real and cruel. It makes you live through tragedies that haven't even happened yet. It steals today because of a tomorrow that doesn't exist. But listen, God is already in your tomorrow. Before the sun rises, He's seen every moment of your day. Before the challenge comes, He's prepared the way out. Before the storm hits, He's built the shelter. Nothing catches Him off guard. And here's the truth: God has given you what you need for today. But He won't give you tomorrow's strength today because you don't need it yet. Jesus said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." Each day has enough trouble of its own. Matthew 6:34. In other words, carry only today's load. Tomorrow's grace will come tomorrow. If you try to carry both, you'll break, because you weren't made to. It's like a child trying to lift her older brother's backpack. It's too heavy. And the father says, "Sweetheart, that's not yours to carry. Let me take it." That's what God is saying. Daughter, tomorrow isn't your burden. It's mine. The opposite of anxiety isn't having no problems. It's trust in the middle of them. It's saying, "Lord, I don't know how this will work out, but I know who you are, and that's enough." And when you truly rest in that, when you stop trying to be God, you finally sleep. Because anxiety is really about control. The illusion that if you think enough, plan enough, worry enough, you can prevent disaster. But you can't. None of us can. And that's actually good news.